today in r/malicious compliance. No problem, I'll print that video for you. And while I'm at it, I might have you fired as well. Hi all, this is my first submission to the sub, and I hope you enjoy it. There's a tilde at the bottom. Context. This happened a few years ago. I was 18 and working as a receptionist for a community nursing service. As the youngest in the team by a long shot, the average age of employees being around 55-60, I was usually the one responsible for the computer stuff, mostly just simple things, nothing quick Google couldn't solve. The other staff members were wonderful, and I learned a lot from working with them. Except for the assistant manager, Karen. This woman was the bane of my existence. She was 75, recently came out of a 15-year retirement as a receptionist, and was armed with a certificate in business management from a 4-hour online course. She refused to use basic computer skills such as Word or email, stating that she didn't need to learn them again when she had others to do it for her, namely me. In a 5-hour shift, I would spend 3 hours just fielding her tasks. Needless to say, this came along with all the fun personality traits that make a manager from hell. Malicious compliance. At the start of my shift, I receive an email from Karen asking me to print the attached files. One was a PEF and the other in 4. So, assuming she meant just the PEF, I take the printed copy to her. This is roughly how the exchange went. Karen, why do you only have one file? I sent 2. Me, you want me to print and 4. Karen, isn't that what I asked? I asked, do your job, and probably better at that here. I'm pretty sure she laughed at her own joke. Desperate. Look, I don't think you understand. Karen, don't try and teach me. Don't forget I did your job for 20 years. Now I could have you
fired.
Already over it and ready for some malicious compliance. Me. Okay, well, I've never printed this type of file before, so it might take a while. Karen interrupts. I don't care how long it takes. I'm your boss and I've told you to do this. Once it's done, you can move on to the other jobs. I'm grinning ear to ear at this point. I get back to my desk and send her an email summarizing our conversation and explicitly clarifying she wanted me to print M4, to which I got a snarky reply. Perfect. I spent the next 4 or 5 hours pausing the video every 2-3 frames, screenshotting it, pasting it to a Word document, and printing. The administrative task piled up. Not that Karen noticed because she mostly spent her time reading magazine stalking on the phone. I felt bad as this placed an extra load on the other receptionists. However, since Karen was universally hated, they gave me their blessings. Once complete, I took about 100 pages carefully held with clips to her desk and sweetly told her that I'd printed the other file. She looked smug until she saw what was in front of her. Page after page of almost the same picture as the man moves through the video, some slightly blurry, all in full color. She was furious to say the least. And I was 1 hour overtime on my shift, and Karen knew that would already cause her some issues, so she let me leave. Though I knew it wasn't over yet. As expected, I get called into her for a meeting the following week, where they accused me of wasting company time and not complying with management. I explained the situation in detail and showed them the email, including her awful reply. I also showed them a few more emails and texts where Karen used some particularly descriptive words to insult our staff members, including the very her rep taking my interview. Turns out, this was the straw that broke the camel's back, as Karen had multiple reports against her from other staff members, and she had been driving her insane with her own complaints. She lost her job the following week. The best part is that this happened on a Sunday, where I got double pay. I took some of that sweet overtime cash and brought in cupcakes to work once, Karen. I said it was an end-of-week treat, but we all knew what we're celebrating. Her rep seemed to particularly enjoy hers. Color, boss made me print a video. Complied, used a whole shift and overtime. Got called into her, which added to the case against my boss. She was fired within a week. Cupcakes to celebrate. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, smash the bell, and whatever else our YouTube overlords require nowadays.